Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Ciara. I'm a third year PhD student in computer science in Dublin, Ireland, and this video is going to be a very honest work week in my life as a computer science PhD student. If you're wondering what it's like to do a PhD in computer science, you will get some insight, believe me, in this video. But I do think there's some general PhD struggles in this video and you'll see the whole journey. So I just wanted to do a very brief introduction. Today is Friday, December 10th, when you're watching this video probably. And this day is not included in the vlog because I wanted to do sort of a getting things done vlog for today. So I'm going to have that as a separate video. At the moment, I'm doing a new video every day from 1st of December to 25th of December for Vlogmas. So if you're interested in this type of PhD productivity type of content, do be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you never miss an upload. But I just wanted to briefly introduce this vlog because I started doing this a couple of weeks ago. I was trying to film a week in my life. So I filmed the introduction of what I was working on and then hit the biggest wall, didn't get anything done for a solid 10 days. But the introduction was all still true. So when I was filming this week, I was like, well, I'm going to keep that introduction. But just so that you understand, I have a little bit where I say weeks before where I'm introducing it basically. So I just wanted to explain that. And then I get into like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. You'll also see that I learn in this video what's been going on with my camera, just that I didn't have the right settings on, and that's why this video, I hope, is a lot brighter than some of the recent videos that I've been filming in this room in my new house. I was convinced that this new house was just not good for filming, but it was actually my fault, turns out. So I'm sorry, new house, I'm really sorry. But I just wanted to explain that because you'll see that happens during this video. Last thing I wanted to mention really quickly, the new PhD student Notion template should be out on Sunday. So this is sort of the last day, or maybe tomorrow is the last day to get the Notion template at the current price, and you'll get the whole new updated version when it's out for free when you bought already. But if you wait until Sunday, the price will be going up. So just saying that, the link is down below, just putting that in there. Anyways, enjoy the vlog. I am currently working on my methodology sort of for my data set for my PhD. Basically, the first 2 years of my PhD, we used various subsets of data throughout the different projects that we did. And at this point now, we want to get a single data set, which is a lot bigger than the previous one. So previously we used data from about 5 to 20,000 marathon runners depending on the project, and we now have this data set that contains, I think, 1.1 million marathon events run by 480,000 runners, I think, which is, you know, a good 20 times bigger than the previous data sets we've used. And so there's basically a lot of work that I need to do this week to do some basic decisions about what we want to do with this data, like what runners we want to include. So there'll be some of these runs that might have been uploaded into Strava from other devices, not actually at the time that we have this data for. So like previous marathon events or previous training sessions. So we're probably going to limit them to be just between the period that we have the data for, which is 2014 to 2017. Then there'd be like a few other things that we would restrict the data points by, such as like having inputted proper things for their age and things like that. So some runners will have put that information in, some will have not put that information in, and some will have put in very strange values that don't make any sense. So basically just cutting out the ones that we don't have that information for. Another thing will be basically, because of the type of data we have is GPS data, it means that a lot of the time we can have issues where the GPS tracker did something weird and suddenly somebody was here and now they're over here, and that can just mess up the timing of things. So basically just ensuring that these runners, the sessions they have, and especially their marathon events, good in terms of their GPS data. So like things like making sure that the time doesn't start going backwards at any time, and making sure that their pacing isn't faster than any world records for a 5k, 10k marathon, etc. And making sure that it's not too slow either for a marathon, because then that could be an indication that they were more so walking. Similarly, if they're too fast, like if they're faster than the marathon pace, it's more likely that this was a session that was actually a bike ride that has been misallocated as a running session. Basically just making any cuts like that. And then another thing will just be requiring that the training sessions leading up to the race that we have sufficient training. If we have runners that are just sporadically tracking their sessions, then that's kind of gonna mess things up a lot. So basically just requiring that there's sufficient data in the lead up, but obviously not being too strict there, because we also want to look into, you know, training breaks and things like that and seeing what impact that might have on performance. So that is what I'm doing at the moment. Previously, I've been doing all of my sort of work like that in something called pandas in Python. If you're not familiar with programming, this is just a type of programming language and a certain package. Now, because the data is so big, I have to use something called Spark, which is basically just something that you use with much bigger data sets. And it is just a slightly different thing. And I did learn how to use that in my internship, but I'm not perfect at it. There'll definitely be a lot of learning to do. Okay, so just FYI, I filmed the sort of intro to this work week in my life basically 2 weeks ago, and I just then hit an absolute wall with this particular work, but I figured there's no point in re-recording what I was working on, because that is pretty much what I was working on. Maybe it was like 10 days ago that I started that. I don't know, but I made no progress on that for like I think 10 days. I'm working with, I think I mentioned to you guys already, something called Spark, and I just kept hitting these walls of the Spark thing basically telling me that I was doing too much and using up too much resources and all of this kind of thing, and then it would just disconnect, and every time I'd have to like reconnect and rerun everything, and it would just hit me with the same errors. So it was just really frustrating, and I was sort of really unsure how to do this in a way that would take up less resources. And then today, slowly, like I had a number of different things I need to do in terms of the step-by-step of what I wanted to do with this data, and I wasn't sure how long each of these tasks would take. And just today, things finally started working my way. I did have a meeting last week with one of the professors in my university, who's not one of my direct supervisors but is on my sort of research studies panel, and who would mostly be the one that works with the data. So like we would work together a good bit in that way, but he definitely helped me out a ton by just sort of explaining how it works and what kind of things to put into the configuration so that it would basically work better. And he really helped me out there, and today things have just been going my way a little bit more. Like I definitely hit like maybe 4 or 5 or 6, I don't even know how many times I hit this thing of it being like no, and then I sort of figured out myself this time what I needed to do. He had showed me sort of how to look through the log error file and see what might be wrong and what I can do, and the Spark thing does give you some clues. The output when you have an error is disgusting, it's so messy. But anyways, look, we got there in the end and finally have done what I was supposed to do and what I thought could have maybe taken a day of work, and in theory it did, because I only did all of it today, but it was the weeks of things not working, I suppose, that got me here. But yeah, I definitely had a couple days over the time when we were moving house that I just didn't want to face it, because I just knew I wasn't in the mindset to be able to even try, whereas today I had a very clear head, and I think that really helped. So I think altogether this took me maybe like 4 hours today. So it just goes to show that like there's certain things that like don't really take that long but then do take that long. Yeah, so I've finally got it done. I'm so happy. So I'm going to send off these results to the supervisors and go from there. That means from tomorrow I can start actually extracting the individual session information and all of that. But for the moment, I'm just going to send these results off, and then I'm going to pack a bag because I'm going to go stay in my family house for the next couple of nights as I'm minding my dog Lola. Okay, so I'm back in the familial home. Somehow this lighting is even worse than what we've been dealing with. Somehow, but I think the colour scheme is a lot better here, so looking forward to getting the filming space sorted at home, just because I'm not loving, like, I keep watching all of the new videos and the visuals, it gets me down, and it's annoying because I think they are good videos, but the lack of pink background is definitely letting things down in my opinion. So I was meant to be going for drinks tonight, which got pushed forward to next Monday, which honestly suits me because I could do with getting a little bit of ahead this week. So what I'm going to do is do my editing for my video for tomorrow, and then I need to work on my Christmas list as well, so the stuff that I want for Christmas and my birthday. So just gonna be having a fairly chill evening this evening. Okay, everybody, we are here with Loli on this Tuesday. It's Tuesday afternoon. You can't really tell in this gorgeous house because it's so bright in this part of the house. But it is relatively late in the day. I have been working for the last couple of hours, and again, back with that sort of same data stuff where I hit these roadblocks that are just really frustrating. Mainly just because there'll be something when I try to run something, it says, oh, this isn't really quite right. And then when I try and fix it, it's like, no, still nothing. So I've just been sort of trying that out for a couple of hours, and I've been finding this week that I've definitely been working better in the afternoons. So I'm just trying to go with the flow with that, and basically if I just don't feel like doing work in the morning, I will use that time to do YouTube stuff instead, and then just work into the evening a little bit more with PhD work. It's all about just going with what you can. I feel like for me, it definitely doesn't work to force myself to work when I don't want to, and I don't really get very far. And today I've been sort of like, because I've been having those troubles, it's really hard to just sit at a desk and decide to work. So for the afternoon now, I'm going to do a bit of couch working and watching some Pretty Little Liars, because that will just help me mentally get there, I think. Especially because I feel like this isn't the type of work I want to be doing right now. I'd much rather be doing something fun and creative, and it's really hard. So when I have times where I have to do something that is more like brute force almost type of work, it makes more sense to me to just do something fun while I'm doing the work, or do something fun in the morning or evening to sort of make up for that. We actually didn't even end up getting this little thing out for a walk because it's been so stormy. So what am I even doing here, Loli? And my brother ended up working from home because it's so stormy. So I really didn't need to be here, but I'm so glad that I am. Yes, I am. And we get to stay tomorrow together as well. Yes, we do. So I'm sort of just realizing that I honestly had no idea how to use this camera, because you guys have been sitting through these super dark videos on my channel the past couple of days for no reason, because I just had the wrong settings on, and I thought it was just the lighting in my new house that was like messing me up. But now that I'm in my old house and I'm looking around being like, okay, but I usually used to film in this room and it was fine. And I just realized I had the settings all wrong. I really need to figure out how to use this camera. Again, finding out that this thing that I was stuck on literally all day, I wasn't really stuck on, I just needed to restart everything. And the solution that I originally found that should have worked actually did work. I just didn't restart everything. So if you really want to know what doing a PhD in computer science is like, this is what it is. It is days of your life spent trying to solve a problem that actually is solved. And yeah, look, all we can do is be glad that it's fine now. It's literally 4 o'clock and yeah, I'm only just really able to get started. I had a really good sleep last night, and thinking it's from like exercising and doing all of the morning and evening routine stuff. I think it just set me up well. I think I went to sleep at around 10, like just before, I was sort of falling asleep just before 10, and I woke up this morning ripe and ready to go at like 6:20. So I just decided to start working because I felt like working. I didn't really feel like getting up and doing exercise just yet. So I decided that it would be better to just work while I feel like working and get a couple of hours of work done, 2 or 3 maybe hours, and then actually be able to enjoy 2 or 3 hours of like morning stuff. Sometimes I do this, I just do what feels best. And I've found that swapping morning routines and work sometimes works really well, and that I will actually just enjoy the morning routine a lot after doing a couple of hours of work, because then you can just really feel like you're already on track for the day. And I think especially it depends. If I was doing this yesterday, it definitely wouldn't have worked because it would have been really frustrating knowing that the thing that I was trying to do wasn't working, whereas what I'm doing right now is all working, so it's fine. But yeah, I just do like to mix it up a bit. But I'm working in bed at the moment, which is a bit bad, but like at the same time, it doesn't really feel like I'm working, even though I am getting a lot done. And it's just sometimes good to mix things up like this, especially in the middle of the week, because once this day is done, it's going to feel like there's no time left in the week, which is always a pleasant experience. So Wednesdays can be a tricky one to try and keep up that level of motivation. And I think switching up the routine has a way of helping with that. still just laughing at myself for thinking that the content I've been creating with the lighting, that was real. Like, it's hilarious to me. This is the first amount of content that you will get in my new house that is at all decently lit. So super, super big apologies to everybody for the chaos that has ensued. I'll do some sort of updated home tour at some point to make up for that, but like look at the lighting. Like, there's nothing wrong with the lighting, and I was just convinced that there was something wrong with this gaff, that it was like super dark. And like, it's definitely a dark house. That's why I think the issue was that I was like, oh, the house is dark, so you know. I'm just opening some blinds to let some actual natural light in. Like, I actually am dead. I'm so dead with this. I just think it is too much to handle. I'm just home, as you can see, my new home. I had been minding Lola the last couple of days, and that was lovely. I didn't really vlog a lot yesterday. I ended up, like I said, I was gonna work and then chill, but I ended up just working pretty much from like the moment I got up until late enough. And then I had teaching hours, which ended up being online because there was still that storm going on. There was like a 3-hour class of teaching acting. If you don't know, I teach drama and acting part-time. So I had a teenage class last night, and then after that, because I had literally been working from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m, I decided to do a full lovely nighttime routine, which you will have seen in the video that has just gone live. And now I'm gonna make some lunch. It's gonna be pretty easy since I have a meal prepped, and I did actually have this like all week, which was amazing. And now I'm going to have this. I'm just gonna top this. So if you don't remember, because you haven't seen my weekly reset, I'm meal prepped this like vegetable chicken red pesto red lentil pasta. In my video at the weekend, I have this Energy Vita nutritional yeast with B12, and it's got like all of your B vitamins that you need. This takes a bit of getting used to, but it's just got like a very sort of cheesy flavour. It basically looks like fish food, and it sort of smells like, and I love to eat this on popcorn. That's probably my favorite way to eat it. And then I also love to put it on like anything that should have cheese. So pasta basically. And I put like a generous amount because it's yummy and it's healthy. Just your B vitamins in general are really important for your mood. I remember when I was having mood problems, my doctor recommended I go on B something supplements. Now obviously talk to your doctor or whoever before taking any supplements or anything, but I find that my mood is so much better when I'm taking this every day. I'm rewatching Pretty Little Liars at the moment. I did the Gilmore Girls, I did the Vampire Diaries, and now it's Pretty Little Liars because I always like something a bit spooky in November, like a nice thriller. And oh, let's adjust to this lighting, please camera. Please adjust to the light. Sure, that'll do. I can't believe there I was thinking that it's impossible to film in this house. Oh my god. And look, here we are. This is too much for me. Look how gorgeous the kitchen looks in this lighting. Wow. It's just everything we ever could have hoped of. So I did do a bit of work this morning. I woke up early again, which was great. I woke up at like 6 a.m. One thing I forgot to say in my morning routine is I don't set an alarm. I like to just wake up when needed. Obviously, if I have something on that I need to do at a certain time, like I will. But in general, I don't set an alarm. Because I've been sleeping better with this evening routine, I've also been waking up better, and it's such a good time. So I woke up really early and I decided to just straight away edit and upload my video and just get that sorted. And that was done all in all around 8:30, and I still had about 2 hours then before I had to leave to go to counselling. Now I'm home having some lunch, then I'm going to do a bit more work.